Hi guys, and welcome to class. This is the first in a series of yoga for balancing the chakras. So we're going to start with the base chakra, the first chakra. I don't know if you can see this picture behind me, but from the base of the body moving upward, we have these different interchanges where in theory the two sides where the energy flow through the body intersects as it's moving up and out through the top of the head. So if you think about these channels and these roadways coming up, the chakras are the intersections of the energy. Some people believe that the energy can get stagnated, that we focus too much in one area of our body. And kind of like acupuncture, that there are things that we can do to shift that energy. So what we're going to do today is direct our yoga practice to the muladhara chakra, the base chakra that roots us down into the earth and our core experience. So join me by sitting down on the mat in a sukhasana. Easy, comfortable seat. And wobble the sit bones down, the sit bones there at the base of the body. I'm listening to the Soul Space Spotify playlist, Nature Sounds. If you want to put that on, that's got nice earthy music. The sounds of the natural world, natural instruments, is calming and balancing for this chakra. Okay, so if you just want to sit nice and tall, lengthen through the spine, ground through the seat. Take a few deep breaths. Checking on your posture, roll the shoulders back. Finding the breath. Maybe visualize breathing up the length of the spine. So from the core of the body, from the seat of the body, imagine as you're breathing in, we're filling the body up. As you exhale, we're emptying out. Visualize breathing up through the line of the spine and just bring your awareness to the base of the spine, up through the crown of the head, some people like to visualize something maybe lighting up, so you can imagine like lights lighting up as we breathe in. A string of LED lights lighting up or flickering on our way up and down through the spine. Whatever works for you. So as we're sitting here in this easy seat, and I mean you could have something beneath your knees if you want to rest a little bit more comfortably, find some support. We want to focus on locating and activating the pelvic floor and the mula bandha. So feel your sit bones, activate your private parts, we'll say. Clenching up through the pelvic floor. Think about pulling things in and then lifting them up. This includes your private parts, your anus. We don't like to talk about them, but we want to feel them tightening and lifting upward. That is activating that root lock, the muladhara. And that's right where that muladhara chakra is. So that's where we're focusing on, feeling the base energy. Now, as you're doing that, make sure you're not tightening through the tummy too much or clenching through the body. You're just holding that active and trying to maintain that gentle activity as we come into our lateral bend. So just bringing the right hand down, reaching up, but rooting down into that base. And we can arch over, keep rooting down. Activate that muladhara. And then exhale back to center. Same thing on the left side. Fingertips, palms down, lengthening upward first, rooting down into the base. And then exhale, we can arch over. Keeping our attention solidly at the base, extending up and over. Soften through the neck. And then exhale back to center. Wobble out the shoulders. We're going to bring our hands to the chest. Keeping active in that base, in the pelvic floor. We're going to inhale, rising up through that straight line, fingers up above the head. Exhale, pulling it down. Inhale, rising up. Exhale down. Keep strong in the seat. Looks like we're not doing anything, but you should feel it in the body. Inhale up through that center line. Exhale down. Excellent. We're going to come onto our hands and knees for some cat and cow. So the base of these positions on our hands and knees are the palms of the hands, the knees, the tops of the feet. So rather than feeling grounded in the pelvic floor, in the base of the core of the body, we want to feel grounded in the parts that are touching the floor. We still want to try and activate that root lock just a little bit, just to keep our awareness in that position. But moving gently through our cow and cat position, tilting the pelvis, looking forward, inhaling there. Exhaling, arching up as you do. Gently press into the tops of the feet, into the hands. Release it all down, looking forward. Arching it back up. Two more. Inhaling, dipping the belly down. Exhaling, arching up. And one last one. Go ahead and sit back onto the feet. And take a couple of nice deep breaths. Feeling the connection of your bum to the heels. The legs to the floor, pulling the shoulders back and down. Feeling solid and grounded in this position. So feeling solid and grounded in this position, we're just going to exhale the chin to the chest. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead, looking up towards them. Exhaling the hands down, bringing the chin to the chest. Inhaling, palms together, eyes at the ceiling. Moving with the breath. Looking up as you inhale. Exhale, forward and down. One more. Then we're going to bring the palms forward. We're going to tuck the feet. We're going to come into a sort of a bouncy squat. This position here. Right now you can see my heels are up off the floor. You can widen the stance a little bit if you like. Sinking into it. You can bring the hands down and see if we can work one heel down at a time. Can you get both heels down? See if you can. It might be too much. Might be, if your legs are tight or your ankles are tight, it might be too much. Maybe you just want to keep shifting one heel down at a time. If you kind of turn, you can turn the foot out so that you can get the heel down. So find what works for you. You can keep it moving. Keep moving into it, opening up those knees, bringing the heel down. If you can get the heels down, then you can settle into it for a few breaths. Feel how the foot is grounding down. Feel how the pelvis is open. We don't do a lot of squatting in our culture. Those cultures that do have a lot less discomfort in their low back, a lot more open legs. So even if it's challenging, you should try to fit it in some variation into your day. Taking a few more breaths here. Activating that Mula Bandha if you can. See how differently it feels when it's active and when it's not. If you're able to get the elbows in, bring the hands to the floor again. Try to widen this a little bit. Try to bring your sit bones down. Try to bring the elbows inside, opening up those knees, lifting through the chest and the head upward. Oh, I can feel it in my legs. Feeling rooted into the ground. And then releasing. We're gonna lift the sit bones up, drop the head down, shake it out. You can turn your toes forward and widen them a little bit. And just shift your weight a little bit, shaking out, releasing through the head and the neck. Bouncing a little bit if that feels good. Bending the knees as much as you like to release the upper body forward and down. A lot of crackling in my neck if I shake out my head, shake out my hair. Release through the arms, through the shoulders, through the middle back. Wobble everything out and sway a little bit to the left, to the right. Holding on with the feet. The feet is your security into the ground. That's what's keeping you rooted down to the earth. Everything is just loose through the top. We're going to roll up to standing, nice and slow, so keep the knees bent and unfurl the spine as you come up. Okay, we're going to stand in our warrior one position. So from the front top of your mat, your feet are hip distance apart. We're going to step back first with the left leg. And we want a strong warrior one. We don't want a wimpy warrior. So you need to really feel it in the legs. I'm stepping back with my left leg. I'm slightly turning the toe out. I'm not going all the way out to the side. I'm just slightly turning it out, and I can adjust it again. I want to be looking forward. I want my hips to be square. So I'm turning the hips to be even, and then I'm bending into that front knee. A substantial bend, not a little bit of this, not like, oh, my knee is bent. I want you to be down to a nice angle here, and you can move that back foot further back if you need to. You can also spread the feet out wider. The left foot can go more to the left, the right more to the right, so that you feel stable. Remember, we're focusing on being grounded, feeling rooted. We want our feet to feel connected to the mat. Front toes are pointing to the front. Back toes are slightly outward, but still frontward. Hips are square. That front knee is bent. See how that's nearly a 90-degree angle? That's what we're looking for. Think about that being a platform that you could put something on top of. So inch that back leg away if you need to. Hips are square. My feet can both kind of peel off the mat. And then square the hips. Activate the muladhara, lifting up through the ribs, through the chest, through the arms. Let's bring the hands together, if that's comfortable, and sink into that front knee. If you start crunching your shoulders up to the ears, open the arms up. Pull those shoulders back and down. Keep the arms active. Keep pushing into the back heel, and be active through the front toes. Everything is strong. Bend into that knee a little bit more. As long as your knee doesn't go over your toes, we want a strong bend here. Feel the energy at the base of that chakra system. Feel the muladhara, activate through the pelvic floor, and then think about the energy lifting up through the chest, through the arms, through the fingertips. And then we're going to exhale, bring the hands to the floor. You're bending that front knee even further, possibly, to get your hands to the floor. And you can wiggle the toes, wiggle the foot a little bit more center if you like. So hands are down. Then you're going to try to straighten that front leg. So you're pushing into the foot to try to activate that front leg into a straight. And fold down. You can adjust the back foot, swivel that foot. Heel coming more towards even with the mat in order to sink down a little bit further. Feel contact with the floor, with the hands, with the feet. And then exhale, step back to down dog, just briefly. Keeping the head low, keeping the sit bones lifted up, even if the knees are bent. So it's better to lift up like this and have the knees bent than to be trying to straighten the legs and come into a more rounded back position. We want the head down, and you can adjust the legs accordingly. Feel your connection with the floor, with the earth beneath it. Activate those core muscles of the pelvic floor. And feel that string lifting your sit bones up towards the sky. Walk your hands towards your feet. And roll back up. And we'll we'll do the other side. I'm just going to reverse direction so I'm still facing the camera. So we're going to have the right foot back, the left foot forward. It's the same position. We're bending into the front knee. We're turning this toe slightly out, but not completely. Hips are square, bending deeply into that front knee. So check that the feet are solid, hips are square. Then we're zipping and lifting up. Make sure you don't weaken that front knee bend. Bend into it. Feel yourself rooted into the ground. Activate that muladhara, tightening everything up. And we're going to exhale, bring the hands down, 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 down to the floor. You can wiggle the foot to the center. And remember, then we're going to try to straighten that front leg. So we're pushing ourselves back so that the front knee can be straightened if we can. And then we're trying to lower down towards that leg. Feel the contact with the floor. Stretching through the leg. And then bend that front knee. Step back to down dog again. Open up your feet about the width of the mat, so they're wider than normal. Your hands can be the same, and dip the head down. Remember, the knees can be slightly bent or quite bent, whatever is most comfortable. We want to feel the lifting through the spine. And we're going to drop the knees out the width of the mat. We're going to bring the big toes together. Bum comes towards the heels. Try to get it right down as far as you can. And then sink the head and chest down. Keep it just that little bit active, so don't let the elbows sink down. You can think about pushing your lower body towards the heels, so not lifting up a little bit. Let the bum keep sinking down towards the heels, and you can use the arms to put a little bit more pressure, pushing the body back. With the next exhale, go ahead and let the elbows sink down. Releasing the body forward and down just as much as possible. One more breath here. And push up. Sitting down, we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. I like to have my heels protected, so I'm sinking my bum off the back so that my heels can stay on the mat. Trying to open them up as wide as you can. Wobble onto that comfortable spot. And first of all, sit up nice and straight, lifting up through the spine. Taking a few breaths here. See if you can flex the toes. And then sort of relax through the legs. Feel your connection with the floor. If you've opened up too wide and your body is relaxing, then bring the feet in a little bit more comfortably. We're just going to walk the palms forward. It doesn't have to be very far. Maybe, not at all near your edge at first. Just bringing the palms forward, relaxing through the neck. You can look down towards the hands. Breathing in and come back to that spinal line breath, as if you're breathing right through from the base up. Breathing up through the spine as you exhale. Maybe you can bring the palms slightly forward. Inhaling deeply, exhaling. See if you can bring the elbows down or the palms a little bit more forward. Deep, slow breathing, concentrating on the parts of the body that are making contact with the floor, feeling connected and grounded. Breathing up through the spine. Two more breaths. Exhaling, walking the hands back to sitting upright. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. I'm going to wobble back onto the mats. You can bounce the knees if you like. Opening up. Lengthening through the spine. Getting as tall as you can. Inhaling the chin slightly up. Exhale, we're going to curl forward a bit. Inhale, pulling the breastbone up, forward and up, chin up. Exhale, curl it in, roll it back. Back, one more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now we're going to come forward a bit. People have different ways that they feel this is more accessible. For me, I find if I kind of slightly open my feet up, I can get more movement forward. Other people definitely feel if they hold the feet closed, they can get more movement. It's not really about getting super low. It's about sort of getting that hinge movement, that forward movement, rather than rounding down. We don't want to be rounding our head down. We're going to bring the belly and the chest forward. So whichever way you want to try today, feel rooted in your seat. Activate the muladhara. Feel strong and connected through the spine from the very base upward. Inhale, and as you exhale, start to come forward. I'm opening up the soles of my feet, keeping the big toes separated. Exhaling, coming forward. Using the breath. Keeping the connection with the breath all the way up through the spine. It's not really about coming forward and down very much, but keeping that connection. Make sure you're not tensing through the neck. Strengthening the root chakra helps to enhance our sense of self-love, our sense of connection and stability with the wider world. Exhale and roll it up. Come back to that comfortable seat. If you'd like, you could come into sort of that half or to fire log, if you like. Only if that's relatively comfortable for you. You could put something in between the knees if you like, but you can stay in your easy seat either. We want to have our palms up, our shoulders back. We want our hands open to the offerings of the earth. Open to possibility. Just settle in. You can relax through the neck. Close the eyes. Feel the connection to the floor beneath you, to the earth beneath the floor. Activating the pelvic floor muscles one more time. Visualizing that interchange of energy and activity at the root chakra, the muladhara chakra, a hive of activity, the source of the energetic flow up through the body. Imagine the body is rooting down into the floor, literally like a tree rooting down. The hands are open to nourishment, to water, to sunlight, to growth, the gifts of Mother Nature. The spine is long and lengthened. The mantra for this chakra is Lam. That could be repeated. Lam, Lam, Lam. And scents or smells that help us to feel grounded and connected with Mother Nature are those woodsy scents, cedar, fir, the smell of the forest. Also, the scent of cloves is supposed to just kind of clear this chakra. Breathing right down into this space. Activating that core fire of the body way down at the base. See the color red, the flames of a fire rising up, up, up through the body. And just spend the next moment or two taking some deep breaths, visualizing the lifting of that fire, that red base color rising up as we raise the energy from the base. Red, the color of the base chakra, thinking about the color of red lava, way in the center of the volcanic mountains, the center of the core of the earth. That heat and that energy rumbling deep, deep down inside. Lift it up. Bring it up. 3 more nice deep breaths. We might finish with exhaling through the mouth. So inhaling deeply. Exhaling like a dragon, that heat out of the breath, out of the body. One more. And release the hands. Bring the hands to the heart. Pressing the hands against the heart center now. Can you feel the heart beating? And bringing the hands together in Anjali Mudra and taking a moment, just a brief moment to feel gratitude. Gratitude is always for the breath in the body, but gratitude for this planet that we live on. Just making a commitment maybe later in the day to get a little bit more connected with Mother Earth, with the earth beneath us, with nature. Take a couple minutes to go for a brief walk, even if it's wet and rainy. Look, it's easy time of year to see the sun setting or the sunrise. Try to fit that into your day in the next 24 hours, a sunrise or a sunset. Go out and look at the moon and the stars. Reconnect. Reconnect with the world around you, with Mother Nature. Collect some leaves outside. Feel your connection with the source, with the root chakra, muladhara. Thank you.